Hey everybody, this is Nick with Shade Tree Wrenching, and this is going to be my first video. I'm going to kind of go over my great-grandpa's old car and explain the history behind it and why I'm trying to restore it and keep it as close to original as I can keep it without doing a lot of, like, I don't want to go buy brand new quarters and new fenders and I'm probably going to buy new rockers because there's nothing left to really work with. But anywhere that I've had metal that can be kept, that's original, and preserve it, I want to keep so that I can keep it as close to as original as I can, just because of the sentimental value of it to me. But it's a 1958 Ford Custom. It's a 223 straight 6 with a 3 on the tree. It has, I believe, around 70,000 original miles. It's one family car. It's been in the family since 1958. My great-grandpa, it was his pride and joy to own. Probably one of the few things in his life he ever did buy brand new. He was a constable in Pleasant Shade, Tennessee, and this is the car he drove when he was the constable for a long time. Have it, and also have his 16-gauge shotgun that he carried with him when he was the constable. But it's not a sought-after car to a lot of people, probably just because it's a straight 6 and a 3 on the tree, but to me, it being my great-grandpa's and still being in my family and still being running and driving and being able to get out and cruise in it and enjoy it for what it is worth more than any high-dollar rare V8 car could ever be worth to some people. But I want to take you off the tripod and kind of go over the car with everybody. I'll show you kind of where I've been gaining and working on fixing rust in the car. But you can see I've been working on the top of the fender. It was completely rotted out and it's not perfect. I've got that big hole fixed. I've got to stitch them in. I've got a stitch right there, and this side over here I've put a patch panel in. All of this is going to get a slim coat of mud, and you won't even recognize the fender compared to what I started with. I got to fix the bottom of the fender right down here. It's had better days in its lifetime. The rockers, as I said, it's just rotted. It's falling apart. Needs new rockers. I'm just going to buy them. It's got Magnum 500 wheels off of a Mustang or a Charger. These are actually the Mopar wheels, so they would be like what would come out on your 71, 74 Chargers, Roadrunners, your kind of hot rod cars, Challengers, Cudas. There's my great-grandpa's old license plate that was on the car many moons ago. This side, you can see this cap's going to have to be made. In the 80s, my dad's brother had put fiberglass over the rest to kind of keep the moisture out of the inner fender. And it did a pretty good job, but I'm trying to fix it back right. And then down here, I got a dent and some rust to repair. And then this rocker, again, you can see it's seen a lot better days in its lifetime. And then, let me come back here. This right here, this quarter panel, outside of where I've not finished filling that in and taking that screw out and filling that hole, all of that didn't exist about 2 months ago. Me and my dad cut metal and welded it in and made that whole piece. It's just about ready to be mudded in. And then the back of the car still has most of the original tail lights, my antique plate. It's just a rough, neat old car to me, but it's as good as they come. The interior, here's the interior of it. As you can see, I'm working on the floor pans as well. They were gone, the joys of it being on a dirt road all its life. But right there, 86,893 miles. This odometer has never been rolled over. That's the original miles on this car. I love the gauges on these cars. They just have that neat swoop, and it just makes the whole inside of the car just pop to me. Factory radio. I've got an aftermarket radio for when I'm out cruising in it. Tools that are miscellaneous. That box has it's what my clutch disc kit came in. I did put a clutch in it here a few months ago. That was a nightmare to find the actual right disc for this. I wound up having to get a Ford tractor disc because they use the same disc is what was in this. It was they have a 9 spline that they came out with that is the same as like what you would have on a 289 or a 302. It's all, you know, similar. And this car being, you know, the 58, somehow they had a 23 spline that was option on the 223, and this car was blessed with it. So I had to find the disc, and I searched high and low and ordered 2 kits. Neither one had the right disc. Called one company that dealt with vintage Ford parts, and he directed me to look for a tractor disc, and that's how I wound up getting it. Looking for that windshield trim, and then I've got the trim for this side somewhere, I believe. If not, I'm gonna find it eventually and get some. And I mean, besides that, it's just the generator's been rebuilt. I put a carburetor on it about 4 or 5 years ago, and it's just, I don't drive it often, but I do like to get out in it. My dad and me both get out in it at different times and just kind of ride around in it and enjoy it. It's just a very old car to me, because I mean, there's just not a lot of cars that was bought new that many years ago that, you know, the 4th generation of ownership is the same family that's trying to preserve it to give it to a 5th generation, and maybe they can hand it down to a 6th or a 7th generation. But that's just kind of a short video going over my great-grandpa's old car and kind of what my plans are. I think since it being older and it being what it is, instead of worrying about getting the nicest, fanciest, high-dollar paint job, I'm just gonna kind of fix rust. Like this fender, I think I'm gonna start here, and I'm gonna go like fender, get it fixed, panel paint, rockers, and then do that door. And I'm gonna paint it one panel at a time, because it's probably just gonna get implement paint, because it's what, 50? It's almost 60 years old, and I mean, it's still kicking around. Well, no, it's over 60, but it's just a neat old car. It's been kicking around all its life, close to the same areas, and it just, you know, the history of it might not mean a lot to a lot of people, but it's really neat to me, just because of it being in my family for as long as it has been. And like I said, I aim to preserve as much original metal and the originalness of the car as I can, because it just, to me, it gives it more character, being able to say, hey, this is the original stuff to this car, this is that. The original wheels, they're long gone. It's been through different people in the family, and they've disappeared as the years went on. But I kind of like the magnums on it. I'm probably going to eventually get some white letter tires, but yeah, I'm just hoping to slowly fix it. And if anybody can direct me to the right seat for a 58 Ford, I would love to be able to get the factory front seat. It's a bench seat, and it splits in the middle and both sides fold. I really would love to find one. It's not been easy trying to find one. Every one that I find is pretty well shot and rotted out, and by the time I go and buy all the stuff to redo a factory seat, I mean, I'm thinking about maybe putting aftermarket buckets in the center console, but I don't really want to. But if that's what it comes down to where I can enjoy it more, because the seat that's in it's just not very comfy. It's not the right seat for the car. It's just in it so I can get in it and cruise in it, and I'm content with that, and that's about as far as I want that seat to be. But yeah, it just, like I said, I'm just slowly fixing rust and trying to preserve what can be preserved. But the majority of the car is all original. It's been in the family since 1958, and I'm just proud to have it, and slowly chipping away this and that and that and this on it. And the little bit more that gets done, the more I'm getting closer to having it where I can get it back shiny black, and I can get out in it and enjoy it even more. Because the paint on it, don't get me wrong, I love the car and I enjoy how it is, but the paint on it, it just, the age and the weather has not been kind to the car through the years. But this is my first video. I'm probably going to end it here, and then maybe we can pick back up and I'll kind of go over what I'm doing the next time I start fixing rust on it and do a video on that. I've got plenty of other projects I'm fixing to start filming videos explaining what I want to do with them. And you know, I've got a lot of them, so maybe you'll see me working on some of them at some point. But I have a lot of vehicles that I want to restore, and it's my passion to fix old cars and keep them on the road and keep them together and try to keep some originality, as much originality as I can keep with them. And I just thought I'd go over that with everybody. Have a good day.